All right, this is the oil pressure and temperature sensor out of this. I think it's a 2026, 25 Corolla Cross. So you guys got it out of way up here in the timing cover, right there. Okay, you pulled it out, and so to check oil pressure, you take that. We're gonna look through the adapter box like these. That one looks like it could be right. Let's flip that sensor towards me like that. We'll lay it up in there. It's a little tough to say. So what we could also do, we could use the thread pitch gauge, which is, you probably have one. If you don't, I do. It's most likely going to be the metric one. So here, Mario, you open this one up. And then let's measure that sensor just to be sure we have the correct adapter. Push it through. There you go. You notice it has some red goop on there. That's like a sealant.
So slippery.
Yes, it is. Try the 1.0.
These?
Yeah, look for 1.0 on there.
1.0.
All right, try laying that 1.0 in here. Hold it nice and still. Does it feel like it's right in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. 1.0, yes. So I believe this is, I think that's probably an 8, but this is definitely the right size. I just don't know about the thread pitch. Go ahead and thread pitch this one. I believe it'll be 1.0 as well. Sit in there pretty nice.
Not quite.
Okay, so that might not be a 1.0. That's an 1/8, so that's a no. This should be organized a little bit better, but we're not going to be real surprised when it's not. This says it's a G. Okay, so we'll find the right adapter. Let me just check that out. Hold it nice and still. Yeah, see that one's sitting really nice, so I feel better about that particular adapter. So let's say that's gonna be the adapter of choice. One thing we got to do is, if you look at this compared to here, there's no gasket or seal. So the sealing is going to occur on the threads. So how do you think we'd seal this? Yes, you're right. We could do FIPG or sealant like what they did, and we could do that when we reinstall that, but this is for temporary. We don't want to have that goopy stuff all over the place. So yes, we're gonna Teflon tape. Have either of you ever done Teflon?
Yes.
All right. You guys work together, show me, and then the only thing that I demand is that you wrap it in such a way where when you thread this in, it's not gonna unravel the tape. So if you go this way, that will be good, right? So if you wrap it clockwise, when you thread it in, maybe just 2 turns, you'll be good. And then try to do clean break. Yeah, all right. Looks good. The other thing that can go wrong here is you can try to thread this in too far, and this one I actually don't think is pipe thread. Pipe thread is NPT. That has a taper, and if you thread a pipe thread in too far, it's tapered, like kind of like a cone, right? So as you thread it in, it expands. It'll actually crack that cover. Don't ask me how I know. All right, but if that looks good, you're gonna get that in there. It's gonna be like, honestly, if you look the spec up, it's probably like 6 foot-pounds. So show me 6 foot-pounds. Twist my finger, 6 foot-pounds. Maybe a little more than that. That's it. Don't be getting over there with the ratchet all crazy. We're just gonna snug it up just a little bit more than hand tight, and then we'll get our adapter on here. Okay, and sometimes you give it a try, and if it leaks, you might have to get it just a little bit more tight, but it shouldn't really take that much. All right, so that adapter looks correct. for the back of the adapter, so you actually have to Teflon that one too. Then while you guys are working on that, we got the gauges here. I just want to talk through the kind of the exercise a bit. So Mario, this one's you. Okay, if I look through a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the main part of the oil pressure unit is, how do I get rid of the marker? I'm gonna say done. Okay, right here. I just want to scroll it. If you look at this, a lot of this is theoretical, right? So we're talking about how it works, where it works, why it works, questions about how the electrical circuit works, if it was shorted to ground, what it would have, right? So I'm not going to give you all the answers, but a lot of the work right here is how the system works. A little bit of the work, and even interpreting, right? So like if you see at idle it's 5 psi and at 2500 it's 12, maybe let's just say as an example that's low. What would cause it to be low? Make sense? So like this is understanding what could cause a lot of issues. This is going to be all over the ASC. This material's all over the ASC. Short to ground, an open circuit, etc. And even if we have low oil pressure, what could it cause? Is it worn main bearings? Is it a worn oil pump? Is it, these types of things? Cool. So a lot of it's this. A little bit of it is actually doing the oil pressure test. So if you had the genie light on, the infamous oil pressure light, and one of the things you have to do is see, does it actually have good oil pressure? So this is something that you can expect to have to do on the job. If the oil pressure is good but the light's on, you're troubleshooting the sensor and or the circuit, right? But if the oil pressure is bad, it's an internal engine issue. Maybe the oil pump, maybe the main bearings, kind of depends. Hard to say. Hopefully it's got the right viscosity oil, etc. So once I get this in, we'll do the oil pressure test. You must check for leaks as soon as you start it, because this does tend to leak. All right, so you guys put the adapter in, threaded the hose onto the adapter. Now you're holding the gauge. At least one of these gauges doesn't read that well. Hopefully that one reads good. If it doesn't, it's got a quick connect. I think that's a good gauge, but we got to lower it down to actually start it. Come on, Mario, you could jump up in there. Jump, jump, jump. Just be ready to shut it off if it leaks, okay? Got it. All over this. Yep. Any day. Come on, wiggle that steering wheel and turn that key.
Yep. Shimmy the wheel if it's locked.
Shimmy, yeah, I can feel him doing it. He is turning.
Yeah.
I don't see any leaks. What you got? Oh yeah, you're high. It's cold engine, so that's good. I mean, 60,
about 70.
70, yeah, probably 70.
Which is...
Rev it just for a quick second. Let's make sure it's responding well. Okay, good. Yeah, I'd probably let it warm up to do this test properly. It really needs to be up at operating temp. Oh, did it say it cold?
Remember the packet said cold.
Okay. Maybe it calls for cold spec.
So idle code is at...
Now it's at idle, actually.
So that's...
50?
Yeah, I would say about 50.
Yeah. 50, so sounds pretty dang normal.
50 PSI.
And 2,500 RPM cold.
Go with 2,500.
100.
Alright, now look at the spec.
All right. Okay, and then we're gonna do hot and hot. So we're just gonna leave it running for a little bit. So that's how you do it. You guys made it happen. We just gotta do one more version of that with it hot and then evaluate it.